Hello, it's me, Leron again. I'm sorry for not posting for a long time because I've been caught up in a lot of school stuff and whatnot. And my voice might have changed a little bit, but that's because I'm using this microphone right here. So let's get into it. Today I'm talking about my new telescope. It is an 8-inch Dobsonian telescope. It is a reflector telescope, so it uses mirrors instead of traditional lenses. Earlier I had gotten a telescope. It was a 50 millimeter uh, refractor. That meant that the objective lens, the main lens, was 50 millimeters in diameter. This is an 8-inch Dobsonian, so that means the mirror inside here will be 8 inches in diameter. So I'm just gonna lift the dust cap off. It's to prevent dust from entering here. So I'm gonna show you the primary mirror. I hope you can all see it. So that is the primary mirror. So that primary mirror is not flat, it's parabolic, so it's slightly curved. So that means that all the light which enters through from space through the telescope, it gets reflected from this. If it was a flat mirror, it would have just bounced back off into space, but since it's curved, all that light will get reflected at an angle, and it will all get focused into the secondary mirror, which is this this other one, this mirror. If I move it to the side a little bit, there's that glass piece thing. That is the secondary mirror. So that reflects the light into the focuser, which is this wheel looking kind of thing. So this the focuser helps us to focus the image which is created by the telescope. So to focus something, we just turn these knobs up or down. So then I'll explain what this stuff is. The, so inside the focuser, eyepieces have to be kept. Those help us see the image properly. So this is an example of an eyepiece. This is a GSO SuperView 30 millimeter eyepiece. It is the biggest eyepiece. It's a 2-inch eyepiece. So this will just fit directly into here. And with this telescope, it yields a magnification of 40 times. And this is the 9 millimeter. It is this eyepiece will give a magnification of 133 times. So I keep this there. This is something called a 1.25 to 2 inch adapter. So here the diameter is 2 inches, while here it's 1.25 inches. So we can put this in because this is a 2-inch focuser, so it only accepts 2-inch eyepieces. But if we want higher magnifications, we need to use smaller eyepieces. So we put this inside, then we put our smaller eyepiece inside, like that. Yeah. So then there are a couple of other accessories like this. This is something called an extension tube. It's for looking at land objects. Since they're closer to us, the focuser needs to be higher so that we can get it into focus. By that I mean that the image should be clear and crisp, not a blurry blob or whatever. So we use this if we're watching land objects. Then we have this. This is something called a collimation cap. It is basically a cap which has a small hole inside it, and we look through the hole. What we do, I'll give an example. Since this is just 1.25 inches, I'll have to put the adapter inside. I clamp it down with these screws. I put this cap inside and I look through, and I'll make sure that it's the primary mirror at the back and the secondary mirror are in alignment. If they're not in alignment, these spider veins you see here, these long line kind of things, those things which hold the secondary mirror, they will be at unequal lengths, and the secondary mirror will be off. So that's if it's not in collimation. So to fix it, I will have to adjust these screws here. These screws are for adjusting the secondary mirror, and at the back, I'll turn the telescope around so you can see it. Yeah, so I'll bring the camera down. Hopefully you can see. So we turn these screws at the back to collimate, to align the primary mirror to the secondary mirror. So that I leave as is. And while you saw those screws, you might have also noticed that there was a fan behind there. And the reason why there's a fan is that when we are observing, we want something called thermal equilibrium inside the telescope. So the air inside the telescope should be at the same temperature, uh, at the same temperature with the outside air. So it should be a thermal equilibrium so we can get clear, sharp views. So that's why we use the cooling fan. And this is the battery pack for the cooling fan. It uses 8 AA batteries. So that's that. Then we have these. These are filters. They're called moon filters. So when you're looking at the moon through such big telescopes like this, the moon is naturally a very bright object. So when we're looking at its later phases like the full moon or waxing gibbous or waning gibbous or whatever, there's a lot of light coming through, and it will put a lot of strain on our eyes because we don't want to be looking at something that bright. So we use something called moon filters. I'll show you. I have 2 of them. This one I got from my earlier 50 millimeter refractor, and this is the one which I got from this telescope. As you can see, when I place them in front of the camera, it turns green or a pale blue or green mixed with blue. That's that is so. It is like that because it needs to cut some of the light off, so it appears a little better, a little less bright. So that will improve surface details on the moon. So that's why we use these. Then, yeah, I forgot to mention, I'm also very grateful to my parents for buying this for me, and I'm also very thankful to the supplier Tejiraj and Co. This is not sponsored or anything like that. Um, Tejiraj and Co. is a very good supplier of telescopes. I got it from them. They even gave the moon filter free, as well as the collimation cap, and they gave instructions like collimation of your telescope and the instruction manual. So I'm very thankful to them. And oh, I forgot to mention, there is this, a small telescope. Closer. This is something called a finder scope. So what we do is we use this to find objects in the night sky. This is an 8 by 50 finder scope. So that means the objective lens diameter is 50 millimeters and its magnification is 8 times. So what we do, suppose say I keep this eyepiece inside here. Oh, that active. Yeah, while you are going to keep eyepieces in, 2-inch eyepieces in, you have to remove the adapter. Keep that there, and I'll insert this inside. Yeah. So suppose say I'm looking for the moon. First, I'll point the telescope into the general direction of where the moon is. Suppose say the moon is there. So I'll first point it there, and I'll find the moon with this small telescope. It has crosshairs inside. I'll show you. Okay, I'll have to get the phone off. Yeah. So I will just show you. I hope you can see there are crosshairs which help to center the object, and they also help for aligning the finder scope to the main telescope. That is actually one very important thing. So while we have this, we have to align the finder scope to the telescope, and by that I mean we have to make sure that the finder scope and the telescope are looking at the same patch of sky. Otherwise we'll be looking at other stuff, and it'll be very complicated, and it won't be very fun or easy to use it. So that's that. And I will also try showing you a few things with this telescope, like the moon or Albiro, which is a double star. I can also just show you some. I can, yeah, in a few minutes, I will show you some. Actually, right now, I will show you some terrestrial objects, like some trees or something. And it's very clear. And by that, I mean very, very clear. And I'm very happy with this telescope. So I'll just pause the video, and I'll just show how things look, terrestrial objects look through the telescope. Yeah, so I have now pointed the telescope at some branches. So I am going to show you. So first is this, the finder scope. So I've pointed the finder scope at some leaves and branches. Hopefully you can see. Then now this is the view through the telescope, the main telescope. This is at 40 times magnification. Is it coming? Is it coming? Is it coming? Hopefully you can see. I don't know how well it might look better through with my eyes, as I don't know if this phone's camera is going to focus the image properly, but through the telescope I focused it properly, and I can actually see the veins on leaves and those white spots on the branches and that stuff. Hopefully you can see. Yeah, I don't know if it looks that clear on camera, but it looks very clear through the telescope. So that's one thing. I will try and see if I can use the other eyepiece, the 9mm, to get 133x magnification. So I'll try that now. Yeah, so I have used the 9mm eyepiece, and the view is actually stunning. It is so clear. I can see the veins on the leaves clearly. Hopefully you can see as well. I don't know how good it will look through the phone camera. I don't know if it's overexposed. Hopefully it isn't. It might be. But sorry, I can't control that. Yeah. So instead, since it's not coming that clearly through this, I will take a photo and I'll just put it right here. I think, yeah, right here. I'll just put the photo. Hello, it's me, Leron again. It has been like a few days since I've made the last part of the video, and now it's a clear night, and I don't know if I can see, but it's a clear night, and the moon is at its first quarter half stage, so it's one of the best times to view the moon. So we'll be viewing the moon right now. I'll just turn off the lights and then I'll show. Yeah, so now I'm going to point it at the moon.
I think
Yeah, so now I'm going to point it at the moon. Let me align the camera with the eyepiece. There we go. If I zoom in, okay, I'll just position the telescope. I'll just, yeah, so now we're seeing the moon right now. I'll zoom in. Okay, it's not getting in focus. Yeah. Yes, so now it's getting in focus. I'll zoom in even more. So this is how the surface of the moon looks like. Now I'm just digital zooming in, so it won't be that clear. But once I use the higher magnification eyepiece, you can see it very clearly. So I have used the 9mm eyepiece, which gives 133x times magnification. The view is absolutely stunning. Uh, Okay, fine. I can't get it into focus. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to take a photo and I'll put it right here. I don't. Right
Yeah,
here
so
in front
that's
of
it.
the eyepiece.
Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time, and I'll try to post videos more regularly. Bye.